Did you know that Indiana held the evidence that finally stopped H. Holmes? I found this piece of Indiana history fascinating, and I wasn't aware that our state was involved in a much bigger scheme created by one of America's first recorded prolific offenders. Born Herman Webster Mudgett, but better known as H. Holmes, he was a professional con artist before his crimes made him infamous. By the time of his final sentencing in 1896, his career included insurance fraud, forgery, bigamy, and horse theft. He became known as the Beast of Chicago, or the Torture Doctor, with his most notorious activities taking place during the 1893 Chicago World's Fair. While he was eventually convicted for the loss of his partner, Benjamin Peitzel, Holmes confessed to taking the lives of 27 people. It is believed that 3 of those victims were Peitzel's own children. After ending the life of Ben Peitzel, Holmes gained custody of 3 of his children, Alice, Nellie, and Howard. On October 1st, 1894, the children were delivered to the Circle House right here in Indianapolis. This was Holmes's usual pattern. He would meet the children at the train station, find them a place to stay, and tell the proprietor a story about them being orphans before leaving them alone to manage his other schemes across the city. On October 6th, Holmes traveled 6 miles east of downtown to the suburb of Irvington. He rented a small cottage on Union Avenue at the Lancaster House. To this day, the Lancaster House is the only structure still standing that is directly connected to one of these tragic losses. This move created a paper trail with the locals. He had to pay rent, pick up keys, and interact with a repairman. He even had a heavy, pot-bellied stove delivered to the house, a detail that didn't make much sense for a temporary rental, but served a dark purpose. Holmes visited the Irvington drugstore not once, but twice. Even though he was a physician, he apparently believed he hadn't secured the proper dosage on his first trip. It seems that 10-year-old Howard, the youngest of the children, had become a burden to Holmes. Howard was homesick and struggled with being left alone in strange places. Holmes eventually brought Howard to the Irvington cottage, where he administered a lethal dose and used that pot-bellied stove to dispose of the remains. What he couldn't get rid of, he buried in the cellar. After Howard was gone, Holmes moved the sisters to Detroit and eventually Toronto, explaining their brother's absence with more lies. But the trail ended in Indiana. When investigators finally searched the Irvington house, they didn't just find a stove. They found an ash pile in the chimney containing a child's teeth and bone fragments. A local dentist, Dr. John Quincy Byram, was able to identify those remains, providing the forensic evidence to hang Holmes. Literally. While Chicago may have made him famous, it was the evidence found in a small Indiana cottage that finally led to his execution on May 7, 1896.